Hi, this is Sarah Russell, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about why it's important for practitioners to be aware of safe supplementation during preconception, pregnancy, and postpartum. Um, a lot of the time, we get carried away with supplements and we forget how powerful they can be. Same thing with herbal products. So, it is incredibly important to be aware of a few things. Um, just because something is important doesn't mean more is better. And just because something is generally a good supplement for a specific type of person or condition does not mean that it is also safe during preconception, pregnancy, and lactation. Now, safe supplementation during preconception essentially has to be pregnancy safe. Um, while a person is preparing for conception or trying to conceive, um, during the period that goes from ovulation until menstruation, their behaviors and their habits, including alcohol, caffeine, supplements, medication, etc., they all have to be as if the person could be pregnant, no matter how much of a struggle the person may have had up to now. You can, in fact, get pregnant at any point in time. And, if you've been struggling to conceive or are excited to conceive, why sabotage that by, taking, um, by having unsafe supplementation, medication, or lifestyle habits that could endanger the viability of the pregnancy. Um, so yeah, I mean, if there are specific supplements that a person is taking for health reasons, they could be taken, starting the first day of menstruation up until, up through about day 7 or 8 of the cycle, and then interrupted again if that is something that actually works for the particular, substance or lifestyle thing. Um, so, um, what I have seen in my practice many times over is people come to me for an intake session, and they may already be pregnant or lactating, or they may be still trying to get pregnant. And what is incredibly apparent to me is that a lot of practitioners have no idea what it means to have a safe supplementation regimen. I see people on supplements that are contraindicated for pregnancy and lactation being recommended to people. I see supplements being recommended at unsafely high doses that can be toxic to both mother and baby. And it's incredibly important for practitioners to stay within their scope of practice, um, and B, to be aware of what is actually safe during these stages of life. Because even if you make an incorrect recommendation, even if you didn't know that it was incorrect, you're still responsible. If you recommended something to someone and you did harm to that person through that recommendation, then you are personally responsible for that harm. There's no way that you can make it up if damage is done to someone's pregnancy or to their baby or to their health. But why not prevent that in the first place by learning prudent and science-based practices that will keep you safe as a practitioner, that will allow you to practice with ease, and that will allow you to make recommendations that are in the best interest of your client and their child, whether or not that child has yet been conceived or is already born. So it is incredibly important to be aware of the interactions between different supplements a person might be taking, different supplements with medications, different nutrients with each other, and how things can interact with the microbiome. So, even what I see these days is a lot of people on high doses of vitamin D, zinc, and some other things, quercetin, because of the pandemic, and people want to prevent issues. But, if you're trying to prevent illness and you're creating, you're creating other problems. You're trying to prevent a viral infection, but at the same time, you're creating an overload of certain vitamins and minerals in the body. Or, just because quercetin, vitamin D, and zinc may be recommended in high doses as a preventative for a particular viral illness does not mean that they are safe at those doses for pregnancy. Quercetin is actually, I don't recommend quercetin as a supplement during pregnancy at all, because it has been shown to have an epigenetic impact on the baby's iron metabolism that can affect the baby's health their whole life. So I don't recommend that people supplement with quercetin. It is safe for them to eat foods that contain quercetin, like capers and red onions and things like that. But certainly not in supplemental amounts without consulting with a physician who can advise them on the full scope of implications. Zinc. Zinc is an amazing supplement, but there is a limit to all things. And most people do not need to be taking more than 15 to 20 milligrams of zinc per day from all sources, including food, their prenatal multi-nutrient, and any other supplements they may be taking. So it is incredibly important to be aware of every supplement your client is taking and their general nutrition habits. Because if the person is taking excessive amounts of zinc, that can actually really skew their microbiome. Did you know that zinc can actually increase calprotectin levels in the gut? So if your client has a tendency towards inflammatory bowel conditions, it can actually worsen those conditions, and it can change the microbiota. So it actually is one of the things that feeds the proliferation of Clostridium difficile. Again, if it's taken in excess of the person's needs, and a lot of people are taking a lot more zinc than their bodies actually need, without really thinking about the long-term implications. Let's talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D, we need to be testing our levels. We can't just be taking 5,000 IUs per day without checking what is, how our bodies are responding, because everybody's different. I see so many different clients. For some people, 5,000 IUs a day may be just barely enough to maintain optimal levels. And by the way, optimal does not mean the higher you go, the better it is. This is not a contest for how high can you go in your vitamin D levels. It is an attempt to keep things in an optimal range, and that does have an upper limit. You do not actually want to have levels that are above the upper end of optimal. You can increase your risk for hypercalcemia. You could increase the risk for your baby having hypercalcemia. You could increase the risk of kidney stones, which are actually fairly common during pregnancy. So this is we just need to be conscientious and aware and prudent, so that we aren't trying to solve one problem, but then we're creating all these other problems. So part of my Feed Your Fertile Body, Feed Your Pregnant Body, and Feed Your Growing Family programs mission is to help train practitioners in terms of safe supplementation regimens for people and what to look out for, what is contraindicated, what herbs are safe, what do you need to look for in terms of upper safety limits, what do you need to be aware of. This is incredibly important information, and a lot of practitioners are just not aware of how something that could sound potentially benign can actually create a world of harm. I've cleaned up after a lot of messes in this area, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. We're talking like distressed people who have had miscarriages, whose babies have health conditions, who have had incredibly complex health journeys caused by iatrogenic harm that was directly related to taking the wrong supplement or too high of a dose of a supplement. We're talking multiple organ damage scenarios here. So please do not underestimate the severity of what I'm saying. And I really hope that we will all in the family building community of practitioners, that we will be aware of what is safe, especially in this day and age when there is a lot of anxiety to supplement with specific things in order, to solve one set of problems. Like I said, let's not cause another set of problems. Let's keep our clients safe during the family building years. Let's keep their babies safe. Let's keep their pregnancies safe, comfortable, and as relaxed as possible. These are not easy times for anybody. So the last thing that we need to be doing is creating medical problems and distress and anxiety for people through our own lack of knowledge and training, or our cavalier attitudes that we may have because of what we don't know. We need to know what we don't know, and we need to understand when to refer out. We need to know the limits of our scope of practice, and this is incredibly important. It's okay not to know everything. You're not supposed to know everything. It's so liberating when you admit that to yourself. It's okay for you not to know everything. You need to know just enough to do a good job in your scope of practice and not do harm. It's really great, if you are in the family building community of practitioners, to be part of an actual community where people talk with each other, and you can receive feedback and advice and be in conversation with people instead of being an isolated practitioner trying to figure it out all by yourself. And things look good, so you just say, oh, okay, that's fine, yeah, just keep taking that 7,000 IUs of vitamin D, it's great. Don't do that, please. If you do want to work in this area, I really hope that you will consider the suite of family building programs that I've created for practitioners. They include extensive materials for your clients as well. And they are not just a product, they are a service, and they are first and foremost a community of people where you receive support on an ongoing basis, and you learn stuff, and you gain confidence. The programs are designed to help empower you with information so that you can empower your clients in turn. And they are absolutely designed to help you and your clients increase knowledge and decrease anxiety so that everybody can be thriving, both the practitioner and the clients and their families, because this is a really special area of health, and we really want to do a good job so that we can have our personal satisfaction as professionals, and so that our clients can be fulfilled in their family building quest. So I hope that that we'll have a chance to connect and converse over the topic of supplements. And until next time, thank you for watching.